Welcome to episode 60 of Crave the Book. In today's episode, Amber and I cover chapters 79 through 84 of Tracy Wolff Covet. This week, we are so excited to finally get into one of our favorite scenes taking place at the Dragon Court. This is also our Halloween episode, but there wasn't a whole lot spooky to talk about during this episode. Hopefully, if you're watching this on YouTube, you enjoy the Halloween graphics that I created. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. It is episode 60, and it's also Halloween-y, so hopefully if I was highly motivated and you're watching this on YouTube, there should be some fun Halloween-themed graphics. If they're not, that means that I was not highly motivated, but I'm assuming...
And we actually have the least Halloween-y chapters today.
I know. Well, you know, they're spicy, which can be spooky.
I mean, if we were like 1 week later, it would have been our bonfire night. Firework night is 5th of November in the UK.
Oh.
And we have all the fireworks, scaring all the wildlife and dogs, and my Facebook page is full of people complaining. I sit at home with my deaf dog, feeling very smug.
Well, guys, this is an exciting episode because we are finally at the fantastical Dragon Court, though we did stop right before things got especially juicy. So, yeah, and you know, we talked about spoilers. Obviously, when you guys hear the wolf howl, that means that we're getting into the spoiler section of the podcast. However, we don't have any spoilers today.
No.
So,
I mean, I genuinely couldn't think of any, except what was literally about to happen in the next couple of chapters. But even then, there's nothing to say until they happen.
Yeah, so you guys should be safe. And then not next week, but the week after, I believe, should be our charm episode.
Yay!
That basically means that Amber and I will read charm as quickly as possible. And we will do one full episode of the entire summary and our opinions of charm. So if you are late to getting charm, or if you don't receive your copy right away, just make sure that you skip that episode when it airs. And I will make sure that the episode is titled something like Charm Spoilers, similar to our Court Spoilers episode from February. And if you have read Court in the last few months, make sure that you go back and listen to that episode, because you don't have to have listened to any of our other episodes. It is just a summary. That way you guys don't have to wait until we get through all of Covet and all of Court to hear our summary of charm.
Or reread Court, because Jesus Christ.
I know, right? That one's gonna be long. So very, very exciting. I think that do
we know how long charm is?
600 pages, I think. So not as long as Court.
So it's not Court.
No.
Value.
No, it's not gonna be as big, which I didn't think
a blessing.
Well, I thought it was going to be more of a novella anyway, so I'm already excited by 600. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. So last we left off, Grace had just sprung Hudson from his little jail cell, which we also found out that Hudson kind of sprung himself from his jail cell because... He got
superpowers.
He's got superpowers. We found out that his cuff, he was able to disintegrate the locking mechanism, so he hasn't been cuffed at all. He's got his powers. He was able to get rid of the door to his cell. He made the guards sit on the floor and roll a ball back and forth, and he got the heck out of the dungeon, and now he and Grace are planning to go dancey dance at the ball. But Grace realizes as she's getting ready for this ball that Flint only told her to bring a fancy dress. And her and Macy packed like these
clubbing outfits.
Yeah, these skimpy little like cute clubbing outfits. And they didn't realize that they needed like elaborate ball gowns. And Grace is like pulling on her dress, trying to cover up her bits and bobs, which relatable.
It's so annoying because men only need a suit and maybe a tuxedo if they ever plan to go to like a super, super fancy event. And both of those are versatile enough that you could go and just wear the waistcoat or remove the tie, go for a bow tie rather than a tie, cravat if you wanted to. Women, oh my God. Dress codes are a minefield. Finding a dress for where you're a guest at a wedding is the worst. What do you even type into Google to find results for that? And then not only that is, well, then you can't ever be seen wearing the exact same dress at another person's wedding.
I have never had to go to like a strict, well-planned wedding. Even my wedding, like most people were in jeans. I've never had to like do
what?
Yeah, my wedding was very. I mean, we were outside, and I bought my dress the day before the wedding, so.
That's a very unreal concept to me.
Yeah.
Because we love a party here. And we all put our top hats on and go to afternoon tea. But I have like loads of dresses in my wardrobe, and I have the summer dresses where, you know, it's just too hot to wear jeans and a t-shirt, so you have to have those kind of dresses in your wardrobe. But then those are not the kind of dresses that you would be seen at a wedding in when everybody else is dressing up. So then I have those dresses. But then I also have like the I'm going out on the town dresses, which can't be the same as either of the other two. But I still don't have a ball gown. Like if I got invited to a ball, I would panic.
Yeah.
I don't have a ball gown.
That's why I said it's just like a guy. Hint, hint, Flint, to not give enough context of, you know, what the event is for the girls to fully prepare, because the guys are, well, at the same time, the guys were very well dressed as well. Flint was wearing like a black on black zebra stripe.
They probably all went out shopping the night before.
And left the girls.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, like, it's, yeah. And like, they do it on like dates as well. They're like, so what are you doing tonight? And you're like, oh, I don't have any plans. Okay, cool. We're going out. And you're like, okay, but where? No, it's a surprise. But where are we going? What do I need to wear? What shoes do I need to wear? I need to know for my footwear. Am I running? Are we going paintballing? Or are we going for a sit-down meal? There's a very different shoe issue between the two. And I have definitely worn the wrong footwear to the wrong occasion because I was taken by surprise.
Shame on you, Flint. Shame on you. But Hudson saved the day.
Like, she doesn't know whether to wear like what kind of lingerie does she wear? Because
none.
Like she could have been given this dress by Hudson, and she could have been like, wow, I don't have a bra that is strapless and doesn't show at the back. What's she going to do then?
Nothing, because it was optional, remember?
Yeah, but as far as we're aware, she's quite a busty girl, and
you can't go braless when you got the biggins.
No, I've been to many a wedding where the bride is wearing a dress that is strapless, and she spends the entire evening pulling her dress back up.
Yeah.
And it's the most unattractive thing ever, because you just want to go, do you want like some shoelaces to like hoik it over your shoulders? Because I cannot stand to watch you shove your hands down your cleavage one more time. Because the photographer is there capturing every single moment. And you're going to be very disappointed with your photos. Because you're fingering your boobs like every fucking minute. Please stop.
You need a boulder holder.
Yeah. But they don't. They just go that I want the strappy number, and you're like, okay. Bad idea.
You need some of those. Have you seen those? The stickers that you like use in place of a bra that like stick on, and then like when you've got big boobs, how they just kind of like fold your boob in half and like
yep.
They just like fold.
You may as well use like you know, like when you've got like a muscle cramps or like a ligament torn or something like that, and you have like that athletic tape.
Yeah.
You may as well just do crisscrosses across your body to stop your boobs from being unruly. Unruly boobs is the ruination of any outfit. In a positive or negative way. There have been many an outfit where, yes, to everybody else in public, It is not appropriate, but my husband, he's having a great time.
Well, Hudson saves the day by sending in two of every...
Racks.
Tons.
Racks of clothes.
Racks of dresses from who knows where. Two of each...
It was, Oh, she said Bloomingdale's.
Oh, was it Bloomingdale's? Okay.
But I don't know what that is. This sounds like a flower shop to me.
Fancy. Too fancy for Ohio. I don't think we have a single Bloomingdale's. But yeah, he sends two of each dress. That way, one is in Grace's size, and one is in Macy's size. And apparently, they were kind enough to choose one for Eden, since nobody thought to give. And I guess I'm assuming that Eden and Macy wear the same size, because Macy's described as being willowy, and Eden is also described as being lean and tall. So I'm assuming that they picked out hers from Macy's stash. But there is a little note.
Do you feel like willowy sounds so like doesn't sound complimentary?
Willowy? No, like a willow tree, like flowy.
Yeah, but that feels like wobbly.
Willowy. I'm thinking of like waving your arms around, but them being way too long, and them just like blowing in the wind.
and you look like one of those balloon people outside a car salesman.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Poor Macy.
Poor Macy. So there's a note, and of course Macy's like, ooh, what does it say? And it's the underwear and glass slippers optional note that, the first time reading, everybody was like, oh my God. And you know what's funny is I made the graphic for that for our Instagram, which if you guys don't follow us, Crave Series Aesthetic, make sure you do that. I made that graphic, and so many people have taken it and reposted it on like Pinterest and stuff, and no credit to us.
We're like quasi famous.
I know. It's
the thing is, right? If I had received a note that said that, and my best friend asked me what did it say, I don't think I would be embarrassed.
Oh no, I would be bragging it.
Yeah. Because firstly, that's hella funny. He must have thought about it for ages of what he wrote. And secondly, it's so short and succinct, and it's not explicit in a way that is crude. It's quite classy.
Yeah, it's cute because
he's making her feel like she's Cinderella,
which is what she says when Macy's like, "What does it say?" Yeah. And Grace is like, "Oh, it's Hudson. He wants us to feel like Cinderella." Like,
I think it would have been really funny if she turned up with no shoes.
You said they were optional.
Yeah. And he's like, what else was optional?
We never got the answer of whether or not she wore underwear.
We might get it next time.
I don't think we did, though. I don't think that she ever disclosed. I think that it was more
it's implied. It's implied that she didn't.
Because I think it was like do you want to find out? But then you never know. But yeah.
The thing is, if I was sexual with someone already, then maybe I would take that dare. But I wouldn't want to go out without underwear on unless I knew for sure that I was going to have sex that night.
Right, on a first real intimate
date, like
encounter.
Public date.
Yeah, it's
because knowing me, I'd fall over.
Dress fly up, legs straight up in the air.
Like she's already not knowing what's going to happen at the ball.
Oh, and what about the glass floor? Or the clear floor in New York City?
How would you know? How would you not know? How would you know to prepare? I better not wear something with a gusset, because what if he flips me up in the air when we're dancing and I give everybody full frontal view? Because and then everybody in the crowd would have seen it before him. Men think that it's a really sexy thing to feel like they have that power over us to walk into an event without underwear on. But actually, it's like, well, no, because only one person's going to come out of this embarrassed, and it's you. If I was to take off my pants at the table, give them to you and you put them in your pocket, different story.
Okay, that's like textbook from 50 Shades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the Schrodinger's cat of is she wearing them or isn't she? I would be thinking the entire night, like, oh, what if there's like a heavy like breeze?
Well, I'm assuming that a gown is like either to the floor or like perfectly silhouetting and gripping closer to the legs.
And no panty lines either. She won't get any like.
Yeah.
He'd be able to tell. You can tell. Especially as he was pretty gropey.
He was really gropey. It's the first time we get that from him too. But
caveman grope.
So I love how she's just like, oh, he thinks he can do something nice for me. He thinks that he's gonna just be so sweet and send me all these dresses. I'll show him. Like, it's just such a weird way that she reacted.
Yeah.
I'll pick the sexiest dress here. Ha ha, that'll show him. What?
Yeah, I feel like she has a very immature way of talking about that. Like, it's not like it wasn't a dare from him. It was a nice gesture.
Yeah.
However, why wouldn't you choose the sexiest dress there? Like, why would you pick the frump?
Yeah,
And he probably didn't send her any frump.
No. And she was like, tonight is a dare. Take no prisoners. This dress is going to hit him lower than his heart. And then right when she finally sees him, she makes no eye contact at all and tries to walk past him.
Super sheepish, like, oh no, don't look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it, like, she also chose the Armani dress because she was like, it's like glaringly obvious that he's daring me to wear it. And I'm like, I wouldn't know which one's the Armani dress. Literally, I would be looking through the brands, not knowing any of them, and just going, oh, Armani. He wears Armani, therefore we'll match. Not, I'm doing this because he thinks that if I do this, I've got taste. It's, no, I'm doing this because it's the only brand I recognize.
Yeah. I would have tried them all on and then made that decision afterwards. I don't think I would have even looked at the tag. It would have been a let's well, Macy said they only had 45 minutes though, so
yeah. And also I thought they're like, he was like Armani black and she wore the red dress.
Mm-hmm. Even his pocket square was white.
Yeah.
So
she actually didn't match.
No.
At all.
So there was something that I noticed and at first I thought, okay, so Macy, Luca takes Macy by the arm, and Macy asks Grace if she's going to walk in with her mate. And Grace is like, damn it. But Macy going in with Luca, my first thought was that, okay, Flint hasn't told his parents that he's gay yet, and he doesn't want to go arm in arm in with Luca and, like, reveal it in that way in front of everybody. Like, he probably wants to have a more intimate talk. But we already found out that Nuri knows, because first she had talked about Jackson when Grace had met with her in her office, and then Grace points out that he's in love with another vampire, so you're going to have to get used to it. So then I started thinking about it, and I realized because Eden arrived a little bit late, I bet Luca walked in with Macy that way because Xavier isn't there, obviously, and Eden hasn't arrived yet. Maybe Luca did that so Macy wouldn't have to walk in all alone.
Yep, but it also meant that, okay, so Luca goes in with Macy. One pair. Hudson goes in with Grace. Second pair. Who goes in with Flint or Jackson?
Well, Jackson didn't go.
Yeah, he's true. But Flint would have had to walk in on his own.
Well, Flint, but he's the prince, so, everybody already knows him. And I think, he kind of owns the space a little bit. It probably isn't as weird when he just kind of strolls in on his own, but Macy and Grace are in completely different like environments. They've never attended anything like this, so I think it might be a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just how I took it.
I made a note and I was like, well, why doesn't anyone ever describe the smells of a man? They do it when they're like, he gives me his jacket and I can smell it, and it's like, sure. But like, you know, when a guy is getting ready to go out on the, like, for a night or an evening out.
When he's tried.
And they put on their special smelly, and you're like, oh, yes. That's usually the moment where I feel like I didn't try hard enough.
What?
Like, why do you smell delicious? I can't smell me. What?
What?
And I'm like, I always tell, like, oh, you smell amazing. They never tell me I smell amazing back.
Did Hudson pack anything? Maybe he
Oh, he packing.
He packing. He didn't pack any deodorant or anything.
No, he's just au naturel.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, I've never read that vampires sweat.
Well, they're always sparkling, so that's the sweat glistening.
Like,
it's crystallized.
Maybe they're sparkling like water. They're actually fizzy.
They're fizzy.
Yeah.
So they get in, and I love Grace is describing all the different like types of food that they're being served, and everybody's just stuffing their faces with all this wonderful food. And then Hudson and Luca were just provided with little juice boxes. They were given their
little sippy cups.
Their little sippy cups of blood. And Grace says that, judging by their reaction, it wasn't the same old animal blood that they get at Katmere. And then I'm like thinking, well, what kind of blood is it then?
Like, I like to think that it's like refined blood. You know how like you go and you get like a glass of wine, but then you drink a glass of port and you're like, whoa, it's been fortified wine.
Ew, it's aged.
Yeah, maybe it's aged, because like, I don't know, like, would Neri be able to source human blood? Like, she has no reason to.
No, that would be easy in New York.
Yeah.
What kind of animals do they have access to? Maybe it's like,
Also consent, because I was like, maybe she's doing it so that they, like, if there is human, they then can't leave.
Ooh, that I thought about that too. Like, they would be stuck, though, as we know in the next chapters, that won't matter for either of them anyway.
Nope.
Because you're naughty boys.
Unless she's trying to get them drunk.
Oh.
Like, if I give you human blood, you're more likely to do it with your girlfriend anyway, so therefore it won't be my problem that you can't leave. If I give you a taste of what you're missing.
Give you what you're missing out on.
Yeah. But then, like, surely she's just giving a gateway drug to Luca to bite her son. So
that would be like giving your child's like boyfriend or girlfriend alcohol and then sending them up
and condoms.
Yeah, and sending them up to their room like
yeah,
little weird.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was thinking, like, maybe they've been like drinking, like, I don't know, like beaver blood and stuff at Alaska.
You know, the wild New York beavers. That's their team mascot for all their sports teams, Amber, the New York Beavers.
The thing is, like, New York's not necessarily known for its animal population.
No.
Past, like, pigeons.
Yeah.
And rats. So maybe it wasn't. Yeah, maybe it wasn't a good exchange of looks. Maybe it's like, why is she feeding us pigeon blood?
I would be suspicious immediately if I was served blood at the dragon court. Like, oh, what did this? What?
Maybe it was dragon blood.
Dragon's blood. Isn't that dragon's blood is a combination of what is it, like watermelon, coconut, like the flavor dragon's blood?
What?
Have you ever had?
I was like, what are you tasting it?
You've never had the flavor dragon's blood? Like, we have like dragon's blood, like ices and stuff.
No.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, maybe she's feeding them dragon's blood. Because that would still make it like a look between them. Like
Dragon fruit, raspberry, blood orange, and strawberry kiwi. Which, that's not relevant at all. But
no,
I felt the need to look it up. Anyway, okay.
So Grace is finally learning how to flirt with the so like Hudson's asking her, so did you follow my notes instructions? And she's like, I don't know, there's only one way to find out. And he's like, he gets all like manly caveman. It's like,
it's all breathy.
Yeah, and gropey and very possessive. Like a proprietary hand, apparently. And I was like, oh, finally, she's learning how to flirt. But then when you go to the table and she can't ask him to, like, dance with her or flirt her way into dancing, so she suggests that he dances with Flint. And then he's like, you want me to dance with Flint? And then she's like, no, I think I should dance with Flint.
Yeah, she was
It's just a really awkward moment.
Yeah.
It was awkward.
She was definitely all talk there because she was talking a big game and clearly getting Hudson all excited, and she knew that Hudson was interested in her. But then she's like, all these pretty girls keep looking at Hudson and they're giving me dirty looks and they keep asking him to dance, but he keeps turning them down. Why won't he ask me to dance with him? I'm gonna dance with Flint. I'm like, oh my God, Grace.
She could have absolutely used a callback of like, just shut up and dance with me.
Yeah. They could have played that song.
Like, yeah, but she doesn't. She goes all awkward and dances with Flint instead, and then really makes Flint feel awkward as well.
Yeah, he's like, should I expect like a fang to the back of the neck? Like, yeah.
But also he seems to be really snarky. Like Hudson seems to be really snarky about her choosing to dance with Flint. When I think that Hudson's a bit more intuitive than that, and he probably would have understood that she was trying to make peace with him.
But in that moment, she wasn't. That wasn't even why she offered to. That was like
she could have absolutely said, like, I'm going to dance with Flint, and he would have gone like, okay.
Yeah, she definitely used Flint in that moment for her own motive, and then she decided
escape.
Yeah, second thought to I should make up with him now because he feels awkward. Yeah. But they figured it out. It was really funny because she's like, I would much rather be like stumbling around on the dance floor with Flint, because she expected Hudson to be a good dancer. But then she realizes that Flint was a good dancer and he was like swinging her all around. And
they're princes. What would you expect?
Yeah. But Hudson cuts in.
They probably grew up in that court lifestyle where they like to learn to dance.
Except for Hudson. Spoilers. No. Hudson ends up cutting in though, and him and Grace finally cozy up, and right before
gets all smoldery.
Yeah, right before it gets heated, there's a sudden explosion, and I thought for sure, I'm like, oh, this is it. That it's gonna all be ruined. Here's the attack. The vampire court is attacking. I knew it. They know that they've got Hudson there, but no, it was just fireworks.
Stupid fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I made a note and I was like, the sudden fireworks would be awful for my noise sensitivity and anxiety. Like I would just be on a puddle on the floor after the first explosion. I love fireworks, but I have to know that fireworks are happening.
Yeah. Otherwise you stand there and pee yourself, which, that's great.
Definitely not over my head, unexpected, during a moment where I'm feeling like me and some other guy are the only ones in the room, and then all of a sudden an explosion like a bomb goes off over my head. I'm all right, thanks.
Well, it's good that she didn't wear underwear, because if she pees, then it can just all go on the floor. Because I would pee myself, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Pee puddle on the floor.
You said you'd be in a puddle on the floor.
I'd be a puddle of pee.
Here's the thing. After you have a kid, like, your ability to, like, hold that pee, it's out the window. You laugh too hard. You sneeze. You try to let in a especially big fart. Just like you hear, like, wheezing in the background. I laugh at my own jokes. It's fine. If I don't laugh at my own jokes, nobody will laugh at them. Here's the thing. I know for a fact that we've got some moms that listen to this podcast, and they know what I'm talking about, and that's all that matters. All of our teenage audience, you guys, you don't get
You've
it.
got that to look forward to. At some point in your life, it will happen, whether you're having children or not.
You pee yourself.
You will pee yourself, and also the other way around, definitely as well. Whether through illness or just sheer desperation, like there have definitely been moments in my adult life where I feel mortified at my own inability to get to a toilet. And that moment changes you forever. It's humbling.
Like, I'm filthy. I am a disgusting person.
Yep. And you get to know your own body, and you definitely know it is not safe to fart right now. I know this.
How did we?
Just gonna go.
we went from the most magical moment in this book to it's not safe to fart. Oh God.
It's just gonna. This fart will follow through. Better leave the room.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then they had that moment. The fireworks start, and then they get to choose from the horde because Flint is very, very accommodating. It says that even the non-dragon guests get to choose from the floaty horde, and everybody picks. And Flint chooses first to kind of show them how it's done, and he chooses an envelope, and Grace says that he pulls out what looks to be $5,000 in $5,000 in cash, and I was like, "Do you know how to recognize $5K?"
No.
Like, I don't. And I was like, maybe she was a former drug dealer in San Diego. I was just used to seeing it like lined up in a briefcase.
Yeah, is it like are they $1,000 bills?
That would be really disappointing, though. Like, just getting like 5 notes out. It's looking really sad. It's the quantity that counts.
Oh, you're hoping for like just a fat wad of cash.
Yeah, but then like, how would you know that that's $5K? What if only the top note is a big one, and then the rest are dollars?
You head to the strip club.
But yeah, I was just like, I don't know how to recognize $5K. Like, it's probably more cash than I've ever seen in my life. I've never used that much cash to buy anything.
Oh no, not in like actually like printed money.
I've paid for things that are way more expensive, like a house, but
you don't hold that much money in your hand.
Yeah, you don't see it in paper. Like, but yeah, she's like, yeah, it looks to be about $5K, and I'm like, your estimate is scarily accurate. Where did these assumptions come from? It must be your time doing crime. Maybe she's with the mafia.
She's with the mafia, the San Diego mafia.
The well-known San Diego mafia.
Macy gets a gold charm bracelet with a wolf charm, which was, pretty spot on. It's cute, but it's not what
it also just happened to be going over her head at just the right moment.
Yeah.
Do you reckon she'd been spying at it like the whole evening and just following it? Bless her.
That's really sweet too, because of all the things because that's something that she probably wouldn't sell. She would keep it for herself, whereas everybody else, like the items are monetary where they could use it, and that's just a trinket to keep, and that's the thing that she chose. It's sweet. It's really really, really sweet. And then Eden gets a boutique motorcycle. What did Luca get? A watch.
I thought that he picked another envelope. Yes, he got a watch, which was really boring.
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting a watch.
But then maybe he's stinking rich anyway, so he's like,
right,
I'm choosing the thing I want rather than the thing I need.
Yeah.
And then Eden picks up a key and is like, so where's the locker?
The locker.
And then, Flint's like, no, you first put it in a glass of water. And I'm like, how would you just innately know to do that?
Is everybody doing that?
No, and, everybody's just dunking their keys in the water. And then it turns to be in a Kos key, which, again, I wouldn't have known what that was. Would you know what that was? Well, no, it says what it was, but I wasn't interested enough to Google.
Oh, I just Googled it, and it says that it's in Scotland, so that's not correct. I'm going to have to...
Écosse is Scotland in French.
Okay, I've got the picture of it. I mean, it just looks like a little motorcycle. It's...
A little motorcycle.
Yeah, it's kind of
like
small.
a little one that you get at Tommy Tippy.
It's Tommy Tippy. Yeah, it's not like a big like Harley Davidson with the handlebars that you got to like reach way up to.
Mm-hmm. And not only does like she get this motorbike, she gets to choose the motorbike that she wants, because apparently that key doesn't actually go to any motorbike. She has to go to Nuri and plead her case for a motorbike that is left out of the choices that were put for. It's confusing.
I'm googling.
And
I'm googling.
Like, I would be really sad, like, to get a motorbike key. And like, I would immediately go, "Can I put this back, or can I sell it?" Because I can't drive a motorbike.
$140,000. I just Googled. I'm sure that they come in all different prices.
Yeah,
but...
I would take the money. But then again, I don't think that I would take a key unless I could guarantee that it was a house. Mm-hmm. But then I'd take the house, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, but where is it?
Do you have to pay property taxes?
I think that it would just be gifted to you. Like, surely they wouldn't just like, oh, here's a mortgage.
Well, no, property tax if it's in the U.S., even if you own a home, you still have to pay tax on the property. Like, you have to pay our property tax is like $3,000 a year that we have to pay. Even if the house was like paid off, you still have to pay a property tax forever.
I suppose, though, that's like minimal compared to what you would have paid paying it off.
Yeah, it would definitely be.
Like, we have council tax, which is for the bins to be collected, the recycling to be collected, ambulance, police and fire to get to your property. So the further away from a depot you are, the higher band you are in council tax, because it's harder for the vehicles to get to your house.
That's so weird. We have to pay all that. You have to pay trash service. You got to pay water service. Like, those are all
so like
different
separate.
Huh?
So like separately?
Yeah, those are all different services.
Oh, no, like when you move house, the first thing you do is set up the internet, because obviously you can't fucking have a house without internet, Jesus Christ. It's terrible. So yeah, the first thing you do is set up the internet, because then you're going to need the internet to be able to set up everything else. And then you go through council tax, water, electricity and gas comes together, usually. And then that's it, I think.
Yeah, we got to pay for all that separately, and then trash and recycle are separate too.
See, they are for me. So we have our household trash and recycling. But then I have business trash and recycling, because we like get rid of so much paper. Right. And so that comes out separately. So we have actually got 5 trash cans. 5 of them.
The sign of an adult, Amber, is on the Halloween episode, us talking about bills and taxes.
Well, yeah. That's because we wish that we were at the Dragon Hoard picking something up.
Well, so here was a note, because Mr. Moore is pretty big with, stocks and stuff. And Grace pulls an envelope, and she's like, ABC or Alphabet Inc., what is that? And Luca's like, holy shit, that's Google. And they tell her that the stocks are worth it's 1,500 stocks valued at, I think, $1,800 each, and she has roughly $3 million in stocks to start the gargoyle court. And obviously she's super excited. However, Google stocks, their all-time high was $150, which means that Grace would have gotten roughly $225,000, which is nowhere near.
Aww.
That is like yeah, that I spend that much in a year. That's
not 3 million.
No, that's not enough. That's not enough.
To be honest, that's not even a nice house.
$225,000 in the U.S. It's okay. It's decent. Our house.
Yeah, but not for New York people.
No. In New York,
these are New York people.
Yeah, New York, you're going to be paying like for a decent house. It's going to be at least $500,000.
I mean,
a minimum.
We don't want to pick holes in Tracy's maths.
No. And I think that the fact that she even thought to do that was...
It's pretty cool.
Really cool. I was talking about it.
But again, I would be the Grace in this situation where I'm like, who is ABC?
What's Alphabet Inc? Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that that's what Google's stocks were called.
Yeah. And I definitely wouldn't know the value of them. Like, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Google stocks, like, that must be pretty hefty. No. But I wouldn't know the exact amount. And I also wouldn't know how to spend them. So when the next morning she's like, yeah, and breakfast is on me. And I'm like, you have stocks. Have you already sold your stocks to pay for breakfast? Or are you paying for breakfast with the knowledge that you're like, meh, I've got 3 million coming. I therefore don't need to worry about the $20 that I spent on breakfast this morning.
I would assume
so. It would be like it's a bit tight for money right now.
I would assume it's like feeling like it's in your bank account, assuming that Google stocks don't crash while she's got that money.
Yeah, how disappointing would that be?
Yeah.
Like you get the hoard and then the next morning the stocks markets crash. You're like, ow.
I wonder, we don't really hear about the Google stocks again. We never really hear about the money again, actually. There's no callbacks, like even in court. She's never like, oh, I'm so glad that I have all that money. Or maybe there is. I don't remember there being. Do you?
She doesn't spend it immediately.
No, she hasn't spent it, so I don't know.
Except, like, I think the only thing that she definitely spent it on was breakfast.
And hot cocoa on the roof.
In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Not very much.
Of all the things that went down with the Dragon Court and, going and the Horde floating and all that, if it were me, the scene afterwards where they all put on their sweatshirts and sweatpants and go up on top of the roof, it sounds like there's like a little like rooftop, there's couches and stuff, and they get hot cocoa. That would be the best part of the night for me. Like the dance sounded really fun, but being able to close it out like in comfortable clothes with friends and then being able to share that special moment after everybody else leaves with the person you love.
And then also being whisked away.
Oh yeah, that didn't even sound whisked. He like grabbed her and faded. It was just like zoom. Yeah.
Yes.
And then my final note on our board was Jackson who? Because Hudson, Adore You by Harry Styles played, which, now every time I hear that song, I think about that scene too. And then the If the World Was Ending song, I actually don't like it. I've listened to it multiple times and tried to like it. I do not like it. It does not come off very, very smooth to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't hit my ear correctly. But they dance on the rooftop, and then Hudson just picks Grace up and zips away. And I guess next week we'll...
Molests her.
Molest?
He bites her.
What?
He bites her.
Yeah.
And she's like, please, 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 please.
We didn't read that far.
Do it. No, but I'm assuming that people did not stop at that chapter,
Oh,
right?
no. Who stops at that chapter? I think that next week's episode should be Do It should be the title.
The title.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be next week's. And next week's episode is just going to be pure smut. It was a good lead up.
Do you ever feel like, in a lot of smut books, particularly, the lead up to the sex is way better than the actual sex scene?
Oh, yeah. I much prefer the lead up. I also, I start to fall out of love with characters after the initial...
After the peen.
Yeah, the initial flirting and everything is established, and then it just becomes repetitious to read, like, the same similar scenes over and over. But this is a little bit different because we have been waiting for this forever. We're going on,
3 books. 3.5 books. 2.5 books.
2.5 books. Two books, really, because Hudson wasn't introduced until the second book. And meanwhile, I'm reading this trying to decide, like, man, when Taylor and I get to these parts, how are we gonna get through it? Because she's invested now.
Yeah, so am I, really.
You're invested in hearing how I do it, or you're invested in the books?
I'm invested in everything. I just want to know everything. I want to be that fly on the wall, just know, like, omnipresent and what's the word? Omniscient. I just want to know everything. And then be able to filter through that information and go, okay, I can use that later.
Now, 13 days as of today is when Charm releases. There was announced, if you guys get your copy from Walmart, there is a new version. It doesn't sound like there's going to be a Gargoyle Court version. I'm not sure. I don't have any of the Gargoyle Court versions of any of the books. But Walmart will have a Shadow Realm exclusive version. Did you hear that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So,
and to be honest, in the UK, we probably wouldn't get any exclusive versions anyway.
Well, I'm going to go... and I'm going to get the Dragon Court version and the Shadow Realm version. And I'm going to read them both, but I will send you which one you would prefer.
Okay. That's exciting.
So, this box.
To add to my ever-growing box.
It really, I still have not sent it, but it is getting...
I think it's going to be a joke. It's going to be a joke in 20 years' time. My box is just accumulating in stock.
It really is, because it's giant and not everything is going to fit anymore. I'm going to have to do two.
But the books as first editions will just be increasing in value.
They'll be pristine.
It's going to be great. The Nutter Butters, on the other hand,
yeah,
might be a bit stale.
Well, I haven't bought the food yet.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine then. I have no problem. What the hell have you bought me that's not going to fit?
I've got Court,
your book, Court,
my book, Neon Gods,
a Harry Potter hat for Pixel,
a Harry Potter hat for Pixel, Paul's Fruit Breezer cough drops.
Oh yeah,
hand soap, which I will need to bag so that they don't explode.
Mm-hmm.
Nutter Butters, which I haven't bought, but those obviously have to take priority in there. There was something else. Car air fresheners, I think.
Yes.
And now Charm. And I'm going to send you my copy of, if you want it, I'm going to send you my copy of Scream for Us, which was that Halloween smut that everybody keeps talking about. It only takes like an hour to read, though. I wasn't impressed, but I was going to send it to you.
So send me smut.
Send you smut.
Send me the transatlantic smut.
I will send you all the smut. So,
okay.
All right.
I'm going to put it at the back of my bookcase so that nobody who visits my house can go, oh.
A cute Halloween story.
I'll read the blurb. Oh my God.
It was weird. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Have a awesome Halloween. And next week we will get into the first real spice that we've gotten to in this entire series. So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy. The spicy pepper.
I'm excited.
Very excited. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.